Welcome in here, ladies and gentlemen, to the ACC Conference Finals. My name's Wolfie Two. In here with a Feist Taquito. We find ourselves here towards the end. How are you feeling?
I'm doing good, man. We got confused on the opening there. I was ready to go in. So I like how we both are just, champing at the bit, trying to get into this one. But hey, let me hit you with some quick statistics real fast, brother. Clemson got here over the Cal Gold Bears 4-1 victory as the number 3 seed for this chance in the bid to the championship. The Virginia Tech Hokies, though, they had a much tougher matchup. Game 7 over Syracuse to put themselves in a fighting chance. So I got to ask you, with that information, how you feeling going into this one? What are we thinking? Numbers aside, 3 and 4 aside, who cares about the rankings? What do we feel like in this one?
When I look at Clemson, this is a team that has a lot of special players on themselves. I feel this season, the way it's really gone through, it's one where they're going to look back and say, hey, we know what we're made out of. We know what we can accomplish. But Virginia Tech, is it going to be the buzzsaw that Clemson's going to kind of run into tonight? I really feel that, in a big setting when the lights are bright here, Taquito, it's who can get going early. In a match like this where everyone, like you mentioned, we're chomping at the bits. We're ready here in the booth, but are the players ready for what's about to be at stake? A lot of mental battle. It's going to be heated in the matchup. It's, can you be able to calm the nerves and limit the mistakes?
And that is, again, you're at that moment. You're at that championship game. You want to end it. You see the finish line. And I think that's where a lot of people start to stumble. They start to falter. The nerves couldn't be just more fried in this moment. But I've seen Clemson play a lot. I've seen this Virginia Tech squad play a lot too. Neither team is any team to sleep on. I mean, this is to be the crown champion of the ACC over here to go in to that final bracket. So it's a little bit of bragging rights as well, because the number 1 and number 2 aren't here anymore. You guys took them down.
And this is where I'm feeling when you have that type of confidence of saying, hey, we already knew who was the top of this conference and what they were made out of. These two teams, it's going to be one where it's going to be a close first game. I don't expect a big blowout. I'm expecting a low scoring, maybe a 2-0, 2-1 in this one, but I would love for it to go into overtime. Just really show the competitiveness off the start of it. And I know the fans at home, they want to watch every bit of Rocket League. And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, we have 4 matches all day today. And Taquito, we have Dayton versus VCU next, Connecticut versus Villanova, Kenshaw State versus Louisiana Tech. So, the people at home, they have a lot to really look forward to tonight.
They do, man. I mean, me personally, I even said it in the little Discord here. If the last match, that Kennesaw versus Louisiana Tech, wasn't so late, I'd be grabbing that match as quickly as possible. 2 of my favorite teams to watch here in the CCS, and that's going to be a banger. So we start with a hot match. We're going to end with a hot match. Just a reminder to everybody, every game played today, we're deciding who goes to the top 64. Like, we're sending somebody through. These are those championship matches here on the broadcast. So, you got to keep some tabs on it. You're going to see these teams rock it out as best they can to prove who really does deserve that bid.
And remember, if you want to join the action, get your school into it, put !Discord into the chat to see yourself into the CCS Discord, because, hey, things are only growing here. And can you believe how much Nation and all the other staff have been putting all the hard work to get to this point, to get to the conference finals? These players, these staff, these fans, they're in for a treat here. But, looking at the series in entirety, I think it goes the entire length of it. I think this is where you're in the finals. It's going to be a grudge match where, like we mentioned, one mistake can be the end of it. What's your prediction on where the length of this one goes to?
Clemson, I mean, look, dude, they're Tigers as the mascot, but those boys are some dogs. All right. They are absolutely, I mean, once they get to moving and they get to going, it is a very rough train to put a halt to. However, I've seen Virginia Tech, and I've seen when they pop off. Blazer is insane on Virginia Tech. So paired up with Acid Duck as well, and Silent also on the pitch. I mean, it's a rough 3 to look at. And, we talked about all the action happening, tonight, guys.
Yeah.
What you don't realize is tomorrow there's even more. If you miss tonight, you have a chance at 8 hours of games on a Wednesday. That means if you're in class in the middle of the day and you get bored and you just feel like don't pay attention, pop on the stream. If you're working and you get off at 5, guess what? You got to stream. If you got nothing going on when you sit down to eat some dinner, maybe you want a late night snack at 9 o'clock, guess what? You got games.
That right there just puts it into it. To be able to have that much, what else do you want as a fan here tonight? And I think the fans at home, they're looking at all the schools into it, and being able to say, hey, my alma mater's playing. My current school is playing tonight. It's not one where you want to miss. And, what we've seen a lot as well online is, these schools are starting to get themselves, they're starting to back. I see a lot of retweets from the official accounts. And, the esports scene in these schools, they're starting to get into it. And I'm starting to love what the culture is really bringing. But for Clemson, can you get Howard's Rock and put it into your dorm wherever you're playing? See if you can just see yourself, hey, we got the magic behind us. Is it going to be enough? We'll find out. But the players, they're finding themselves into the lobby here, Taquito. I'm interested to see what Twitch chat has to say. Twitch chat, make sure to go into there. Let us know who you feel is going to take this game, because for some reason, Taquito, they have a crystal ball on their end. Twitch chat is the ultimate knower of all.
I hate that statistic because it's just true, right? Like at the end of the day, no matter what we know, the guys who look at the stats and who kind of like go back over games and we see everything and we watch these teams play over a whole vast season. It's just as soon as we say something Twitch chat's like, nope, wrong. Yeah. This is what's going to happen. And I am just that's my favorite thing. My favorite thing is always just these guys know, the fans, they know everything. I mean, like, come on, Wolfie. We're from Texas. Even the producer here is from Texas. The Cowboys are going to win, right? We always say it every year. You know what I'm saying? The whole entire state, well, you're closer to Houston down there. But, I mean, they all say the Cowboys, it's our year. They never fail. So, like, at this point, I got to trust the fans. Their team is going to win. So, me personally, I do think that Clemson has an edge. I don't think that they have the full momentum in the series coming into this. I don't think that they're going to take it in any kind of easy form, but I do think that they have an edge. They've been playing a lot of games. I'm sure Virginia Tech has as well, but I've seen Clemson play a lot of games across a lot of leagues. So they have some really, really good results. Virginia Tech, though, has been a team that has always surprised me in CCS, and I never count them out of anything.
Well, I had a chance a couple weeks ago to see Virginia Tech with Nation, I believe, and they put on a display. This team loves to give the fans at home the clips. They love to be able to work together, get themselves really involved in all essence. But now is it. Do you feel the lights for these players may get too bright? How long until you think the adjustment period? We're saying, hey, we're playing another game of Rocket League. We need to calm down. We have to play like we're back in our dorm. We're back in our rooms, back where it all started, and let the moment kind of get onto you.
It is one of those things too, especially like, you got here after such a long season. Talk about not really letting that moment get to you. You've gotten here after such a long season, 6 whole weeks, a couple of non-conference games to kick it off, as well as some other teams across the entire nation. It all culminates in one moment, and it never ceases to amaze me because there's always upsets. There's always upsets that either get us into the top 64 or happen the very first game of the top 64. So one of the ones I enjoyed so much was last time I saw, believe it was Cal in the top 64. They got a massive upset. They upset UT of all teams in their very first round. When I remember that correctly, it was the craziest night to come back to, when Nation was like, yeah, hey, this happened, by the way. While you were casting other games over here, this happened. And I was like, no way Cal just beat UT. Like, you got to get out of here. Ain't no way. So that's the type of stuff I look forward to when it comes to these final bids, is who's going to play upset? Who's going to be the dark horse? Who's going to be that maniacal menace that we cannot calculate going into the finals?
And, and it's where you never know how these players, they woke up this morning. We don't know how they're feeling currently. What if they're hungry? What if they're just not in the edges? It's where you're saying, what did the pregame kind of look for themselves? And, for all the routines for themselves, I feel for Virginia Tech, you see them right now waiting for the lobby. They're ready to go. It could be one where, Clemson could be saying, hey, let's wait up a little bit. Let's let the nerves continue to build. But I'm looking for the experience tonight to really to play a big factor into this one. And, Virginia Tech, both Clemson, you mentioned it. They played in big games this season. It's who's able to go back and say, hey, we put a great game plan together. In game one, I always feel it's just a tester. It's just where you're putting your big toe into the water and seeing what can we get away with and what do we have to try to defend. But the creativity is one thing I'm watching from Clemson. I need to see those passes tonight. It can't be one of those where it's a solo play game where the defense for Virginia Tech is too stout to be able to say we're going to have one man go in there and kind of take over the entirety.
Yeah, well, looks like we did wait ourselves out enough. Everybody is here. Wolfie, we finally get the first 5 minutes. We finally have game number 1, the ACC championship match happening right before you here. Virginia Tech, number 4, takes on Clemson, number 3, to bid themselves into that final tournament.
Well, both these teams earned an opportunity here tonight to find themselves taking the crown. Who will be able to? Clemson in the purple, trying to allow themselves to get going early. Virginia Tech into that brown and maroonish. And you know something here, Taquito, early on, both these two teams trying to find themselves onto a quick goal. Blazer blazing ahead.
What did I tell you? I told you before this match even started, Wolfie, who to look out for is that player right there. Blazer is an incredible mechanical menace. We see it out of the corner, that sharp angle, taking goal number 1. The Hokies are making a point.
Well, and this is where you have to really put your dominance on display earlier. And, for Blazer trying to come out, put his name onto display. Now for Clemson, they're going to see, can we contain him? Or are the other two going to start popping off as well?
Well, that's the question is who's going to keep up? Right now, we got to watch out for that one. Blazer trying to sneak a quick one again. But maybe we see a bit of defense here. I will say, I do know for a fact that Clemson did just play another league match, and they currently, I believe, won. So they're coming off a win into this one, trying to get themselves another one on the evening. Enzo looking for the double, but the touch is finished by Masao, tying us up.
Well, there you go. You said it. This team is already warm. They have to allow themselves to start off hot. Great pass, finds a great goal here in the first 60 seconds. A big goal now. That at least stops Virginia Tech from having all this momentum. The Tigers, they're showing their fangs.
They are, man, and they're hungry. Like I said, they got one win already. They're already ready to go off the back wall. Enzo and I believe that was Blazer, or excuse me, no, it was not Enzo and Blazer. Acid Duck in Blazer. I got the wrong teams, wrong players. There we go. Mix it up on the back line, trying to get Clemson to fold. But a nice clear from Beans allows the team to reset in this Virginia Tech half. But Silent has plenty to say and is anything but on the approach.
Yeah, unfortunately, just no boost there. Had a lot of room, but that's where Clemson just got away with one. Beans didn't have to work back quickly because Virginia Tech is putting a lot of pressure.
Pinch as well to try to at least clear out an opening. Blazer a chance, gets dunked on by Enzo. Maybe a follow. Hang on, Masao. Weak touch and a demo sends the ball back to the mid. Beans not the best. Allows Blazer to jump up here and a bump at the back line on Masao. Goes by the wayside, but the Hokies yet to give up on this one. Clemson trying to keep the ball out of their half. They're not doing the best job. Blazer gets a double. Isn't able to find the teammate. It may have been a bait, but they don't fall for it.
Yeah, Beans does a great job just playing, just menace right now. And a quick touch, not strong enough. Silent coming out with a loud stoppage there. But Clemson continue on the pressure. Beans can't get it. Can Enzo do it? That one will just see itself lofting towards midfield.
Sal off the side wall, maybe one on the back. Blazer does get a touch, uses all the boost, and has to push upfield for potentially more, leaving Acid Duck alone. Beans on the pass. Acid Duck needs a defensive touch. He gets it. Maybe a follow through over to Blazer, but it's too wide on the continuation. Silent now. Too far of a touch, couldn't find the pass, and they've been trading blows back and forth here against VT and Clemson, but no one's found the better of the lead.
Well, and this is where we said in game one, we might just see these two teams not throw too much at each other. We knew the offenses were going to try to keep things tight. Past halftime, 2 minutes remaining. Silent gets a good touch. This one will just go back off the backboard. Not much to work there for Clemson, and the second attempt will just go away from Silent.
They got a little time to work with, though, on the side of the Hokies, and a boom will eliminate all of that time that they had to work with. They've got to try to set something up, but Virginia Tech not deciding to go with that play. The slow play, not their forte, or maybe it's not in the playbook. dunk there from Silent. At least puts it in the mid, but Masao is going to do his best to cut off the approach. Blazer can't move here, so again, the Hokies kind of turtle up in the mid. They're doing the best they can to keep it alive, at least towards the Clemson half, but that's a scary touch. No boost as well. Virginia Tech panicking a bit right now, Wolfie.
Well, this is where we said it. In game one, it's when that pressure starts to set in. As the series goes on, they're going to start to settle down. But you're seeing Virginia Tech, a lot of offense coming from the Clemson side, who seem to have started slow. But Enzo says, put it to the back of the net. I'm going to take this for myself.
And exactly on 1 minute, too. So 60 seconds to play with for the Hokies to at least put another goal in. Tie the game. Don't try to win, obviously. I mean, well, you want to, but that's not the point. You put too much pressure on yourself when you want that win. Tie the game up 1 goal at a time is how you find this one out. Blazer over. Enzo puts the double in, and there you go. It's another day in the office for Blazer.
Yeah, just a great touch there. And even when getting bumped, his focus is saying, I need to put a bucket in the back of the net. Great job there, controlling himself. Overtime in the midst, or will it end here in regulation? We'll find out in 53 seconds.
Buddy, with the way these Tigers are clawing back on offense, I'm not sure. But with that, never mind. I have spoken too soon. Maybe I did not read my own crystal ball in this series as the Hokies take the lead.
Well, silent but deadly. As Silent right now in a midst where you're saying, hey, you can't get it any easier. I'm going to take that and run with it. And now Virginia Tech at the end take up a huge goal, but can we see one off the kickoff? Might have a chance. Who will get there first? That's going to go gingerly into the corner.
Blazer good demo, but right to a opposing member. Beans tests a shot to the back wall. It's an awkward touch for Aciduck. Another good one there off the back wall. One more time, but we're stuck with concrete in the tires, and Beans ties it up at 30.
Well, they say beans are good for you. A lot of protein right there. And just saying, I'm just strong. A great job being able to see that one with 2 in its face. 30 seconds, 3 on 3. Who will see themselves get to the 4th? I didn't expect the scoring to get this great late here, Taquito, but they're showing, hey, we already understand where we're at, how we want to get going. Enzo says splash goes it. That's going to be able to take the tie away, and Clemson with the lead.
They fought back, man. From the beginning, Virginia Tech opened the scoring, and we now see the favor of Clemson 4-3 in the series with 24 seconds left. This is kind of where you have to start to see all the tricks come out of the bag. Like, you can't hide anymore. You've got to get what you can while you can, and you don't have a lot of time to work with. Aciduck bumped off the play, couldn't get another. It's a wide open net. They go up by 2. That just might be the dagger, Wolfie.
Well, hats off for the hat trick there for Enzo. Able to cherry pick that one to the back of the net and just see the ball lofting at you. That's 9 times out of 10, or maybe 10 times out of 10 for Enzo. He's going to be able to come up big there. But a 2-goal lead, 10 seconds. Clemson, you said it. They clawed their way back into the light, and they're going to find themselves taking game number 1 of the best-of-7 series.
Yeah, that's tough. They were trying to get one more there on the side of the Hoax, but dang, that one's not going through. Clemson with a 2-goal game 1 after being down early on. This is exactly what you want to see if you are in this lobby, especially having to come from one series to another. They're keeping that fire alive and going. We move into game 2, though. What are some things that you saw? What did Virginia Tech do that really kind of stood out to you in that game 1?
It just seems that they rested on their morals at a point when they got the lead. They were trying to maintain instead of dominate towards the back end of it. And I feel Clemson just never said, we're going to take our foot off the gas. They were never satisfied with the lead that they had. And Enzo trying to come out from the break to be able to say, hey, I had a hat trick. Let me start off with the first goal. Okay, Blazer, welcome through. Out of an absolute shocker to start things off. He starts it off with a goal again.
What a pinch, too. And I mean, Beans, there's nothing you can do there. I mean, you're going one direction, ball's flying by you the other way. 1 goal again. Virginia Tech, they have started both games the better here in this best-of-7 series. The thing is, you got to keep it going. I like what you said there. They rested on their laurels in the end of that game 1. They took that 3-2 lead, and they're like, no, this is fine. and then you watch Clemson put 3 more in to solidify that win. You cannot lay down against these Tigers.
Well, the Tigers right now saying, hey, we went down the hill. We're trying to go up it. That one will just get denied. Enzo, quick pop, will be away from a teammate. No boost there for Silent. As a quick 50, we'll keep it towards midfield.
Ooh. Asaduk will grab that boost in the corner, so that's important to get back on defense. Blazer, nice clear. No one in the mid, though, following. Silent, a little behind the pace. Asaduk throws one this way. Can't find a shot there, and through traffic they find a good 50, but Virginia Tech have got to work a little bit harder there if they want to get out of their half.
They're in traffic right now. It's bumper to bumper. You see the stall in both of these two offenses. The defense has done a great job of just being able to adjust off that last game. Beautiful read there by Blazer to be able to pre-jump that one.
This is crazy. I'm surprised Masao did not get that shot. That would have been a beautiful redirect too, especially momentous shot. Beans throwing close posts. I respect that. We've seen a lot of close post shots in another game you and I like. So sometimes that works. It doesn't work here for Virginia Tech. And double commit is trying to at least push the ball through the half. It works, but it forgoes possession. That is something that I have seen Virginia Tech do a lot of. They just get rid of the ball.
This team right now, they're playing clock management, but to a point where they're giving up a lot of space and they're giving Clemson some good opportunities. You've already seen 2 redirects off of just small touches that you've mistakenly given Clemson where they score. Enzo, or Bean, sorry, almost finds it that one. That's just going to be able to go over the backboard into a corner.
It's a good carry away,
yeah,
but it wasn't. Sorry, there we go. Good carry away, but it wasn't far enough, and it finds itself back in the mid. Again, the Virginia Tech squad have not cleared the ball with like a lot of purpose, I think, so far. But they're getting it down here. They're holding this 1-goal lead. That's what's important. You're still winning this game. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. And you got more goals than your opponent. It's good, but you got to throw some better blocks than that. Thank God for Asaduk.
Man, that one was one where you said, the defense finally broke for Virginia Tech. They've been doing a good job of bending but not breaking. But what a job just coming out of the midst, says Beans will not see it. Masao still trying to get the offense going now, but Blazer with full boost going to take this one for himself.
Back in the mid, good 50 for Blazer, but again, a handover possession. Silent, the only one there, gets a decent touch. Masao and Enzo, not Beans, is looking for one. They are able to move it to the mid, and no one approaching on the side of Virginia Tech at least allows them to potentially set up an offensive attack. Off the ceiling we go. Blazer doesn't get a touch, so it forces Asaduk's hand. With a 50 through, this at least breaks the monotony of that back and forth.
Well, we're talking a lot about these long clears. One thing that it's doing is not allowing Clemson to really connect too much. We finally see a pass there, and he said, wait up, Wolfie. We've been waiting all 3.5 minutes for this one play. A 1-2 punch puts it 1-1.
I was going to say, that one long clear is going to end up working, and look who finds the better of it. It's Clemson. They tie the game. We got about, close it in on 75 seconds here left. This could be very important for the Hokies as long as they can put the ball back in the purple side, but they've got to do something better than just flinging it away. Maybe keep it close to the chest, maybe some close possession play out of your own half might do you some good, but Silent ground to air. Blazer needs a 50, misses there. Asaduk is awkward. Enzo doesn't throw the best shot, so it's easily saved away, and Virginia Tech get a chance to fight in defense.
All right, that's where Virginia Tech, they kind of missed out on an opportunity. You saw a double commit by Clemson, and one person back just couldn't find a way through. 37 remaining. Clemson at the very end trying to see if they come away with another shocker. And, how big would it be for Clemson to be able to get it done here in regulation? As a good defense there swats it away.
Blazer needs some help. Asaduk on the shot. It's going to be deflected easily. Enzo decides to keep it close, but Asaduk deletes that opportunity and wraps around for one more, but isn't able to push it through. Blazer awkward here, needs Silent. This is going to be very awkward. They need to play this well. Blazer does so. Flip, reset, maybe one more. Couldn't find it. Enzo has a chance here. The seconds counting down, but the ball will drop, and we have OT in game 2.
I think if he gets an extra second or so, he has a shot, and that shot might make it. But welcome to the first overtime here, ladies and gentlemen, to the conference finals. Clemson trying to take this one, but Virginia Tech had the lead the entirety. Can they take it here early? Blazer! What?
Oh no, the Clemson player was getting bullied in the net. Let's look one more time. Oh, it's poor Enzo. Enzo just hit the reverse and couldn't move in time. They were going to get absolutely pushed back into the corner, and Virginia Tech answer back big in game 2.
You know, that's interesting to see them off the kickoff. That's the third time now. Them start off, start of a game, even overtime, with a goal. It's showing that they're getting good looks off a kickoff. I'm liking that for themselves, especially there. And the awareness to say, hey, let's get a little physical. Let's get our hands dirty here, Taquito, and say, I'm going to be able to bump. I'm going to be able to move. I just need to be able to get my teammate a goal quick.
Yeah, again, it was one of those instances like, come on, like that's what works. You know what I'm saying? Oh my, that's what works. That's what gets through. Silent on 0 boost with a 50 off the top of the car. Okay, 3 in a row. We are 3 for 3 with the Hokies opening the scoring in each game.
Man, we said it. It just seems where you take overtime as well. Cut that was 4. This team right now knows how to get it done. And the most consistent part of Rock League is always a kickoff. If you can dominate there, you can dominate any match. Man, Clemson saying this is bronze versus brains as that one from Masal sees itself.
Oh, I mean, look at Enzo. Enzo had a heat-seeking sight on Blazer, just absolutely deleted the brother off the pitch, and that is going to find its way through. Man, 13 seconds this time, and we are already tied up. Do we see another potentially high-scoring affair?
I don't know. I just saw a calculated there, and yes, it was. What a job right now here for Clemson. I'm expecting maybe another 3-1, 2-1 game. It has to come in here. I don't expect really much from Virginia Tech on the offensive side. They know how to take leads. They know how to get goals, but they haven't been able to finish out the game, and that's what we're hoping for them to be able to do. They got the kickoff last time, but can you do it in the first 5 minutes?
Yeah, that's going to be important, but when Enzo is absolutely on target with most of these demos, it's going to be very tough. Aciduck trying to read Masal's touch. Very awkward in the corner. Beans, everybody's in the net, and they still go close post. Silent. Could have chose a wide angle shot, may have found it. This one's away from Blazer. Blazer is not going to be able to commit on that, and I respect it. But this toss, maybe they can do something here. It's a decent 50 from Silent. Silent using a lot of boost, wasting a lot of resources. Wide shot. The Hokies still trying to poke their way through on the shot, but aren't able to find it. This breaks up for just a moment, but defense not exactly the strongest suit here for Virginia Tech.
And I like what Virginia Tech's doing. They're doing a great job of just keeping everything in front of them. Aqueduct not able to do too much. This one from Masal will just see itself going to the midfield as a full boost, but Silent on it. We'll just go for a quick 50 and a quick touch.
This is going to be, again, this is the game changer for me right now with the way these guys have played games 1 and 2. I feel like whoever takes the lead in this series here might get a chance to just run away with it. Blazer looking for maybe a ground pinch or a 50, doesn't find it. Silent gets a shot, throws one close post. Yeah, it still hasn't worked. They have gone for that shot so many times. They were trying to meet up there too on a pinch, couldn't do so. But Virginia Tech, maybe throw a different shot at the net. Maybe stop going so close post.
And, you know, this is where they're trying to just mitigate that risk, but it's where Clemson is reading it to perfection. Quick 50 there, a quick pinch back onto net. We'll just go off the post. Not much to work with. And Aciduck will take this for himself, but we'll just get lofted right back towards midfield.
What do they need to do, Wolfie? What do they need to do here right now? Virginia Tech, they haven't been able to exactly finish on a lot of these pushes forward. This is a good opportunity. Aciduck could get through Masal, but can't. Great 50 there. Blazer from the ceiling tries to go for the bump, doesn't find, so a long clear to the corner will allow Clemson to approach. Beans throws it towards the net. It was going to be defended well, and everybody gets caught jumping as Masal puts in the second.
Now you ask what can they do? Virginia Tech have to keep the pressure on to Clemson. They're going to score. Great job finding the top of the net there, but You know, you mentioned it, Clemson, they just came off a series right now. How long is the gas tank going to last for Clemson? This team's going to have to see if the stamina can go through this work. If I'm Virginia Tech, let's make this a tough series, and let's make sure this goes to a best of 7 in Game 7, because we'll be able to potentially outlast them.
Again, it's potential. It's like kinetic energy. When is it going to break? When is it going to like actually rear its ugly head and show us what it's made of? It hasn't yet. Clemson has been able to fight off every single approach, Wolfie. They have been able to completely defend well, while on the side of Virginia Tech, they look a little bit more nervous with Clemson approaching.
Yes, I agree. It's when it seems that they're playing not to lose right now. And instead of just saying, like we mentioned earlier, we want to take this. They get the lead, and it's one where they potentially go up 2-1 early on or 2-0. Maybe Clemson doesn't have the juice to get back into it. But you keep Clemson in close, it's going to be like game number 1. They're going to make you pay, if especially with a very talented team on their side. Masao trying to go right back onto it. Will just loft it towards mid. Beans will just get one more touch, but not much danger here as Virginia Tech need to quit this one out. There's no one back. Masao able to put it.
It's a lot of the demos. I'm telling you right now, when Clemson started demoing Virginia Tech, a lot of things kind of went by the wayside. This pass here to Silent could be good, but Beans sees it out early. Duck not able. The net's wide open. The net, there's nobody home. There's nobody home. There was nobody defending. Oh, no. No.
It seemed that they threw the entire kitchen sink there. Everyone on the offensive, but nobody back. Enzo basically just walks it in. 32 seconds, a 2-goal lead. The Tigers showing that championship mentality. And, you know, there's a reason. Does the rankings matter? Maybe not in a championship game, a conference finals like this, but 3 versus 4, they're showing, hey, that one rank, it means a lot, and we're trying to prove it.
And Virginia Tech is doing their best to prove that they deserve to be here. This has gotten away from them, just like in Game 1. This is now the biggest lead that we have seen in the series so far. And with a 3-goal differential with 15 seconds later, Wolfie, there are no 3-pointers in Rocket League.
Now, sadly not, but, you know, for Clemson, they're going to go up 2-1 now in this series. This team, in the midst of danger, they know how to come right out of it. And I'm expecting a lot from the Tigers here tonight, but Virginia Tech, the defense, it's been there. The defense has done extraordinary, but when you rely especially just on the defense, at one point it's going to give, with a great offensive team like Clemson, 9 shots to their name to the 7 of Virginia Tech. You're starting to see things fall off a little bit here for Virginia Tech. I'm not saying they're out of the series, but now they're in a must-win.
Yeah, you have to win this next game. Yeah. Going down 3-1 in Game 4 is probably not how you want to spend your championship match. You know, you don't want to. Yeah. You don't want to be in that position, but at the same time, just finish on the plays. There's so many plays they set up in this specific game that just did not fall for Virginia Tech.
And one thing that I saw that I was hoping Virginia Tech did, they readied up at the 25-second mark. I feel on that one, you take the entirety of the clock. Use it almost as an unofficial timeout to just take a breather, take a sip of water. But no breathers, all action here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 4. Clemson trying to dominate as that one going through as Beans seeing it.
That first shot definitely sent 2 people to the moon, and with the last one there, bumped off of the back. I believe they were going for the squishy, but Enzo denied, opened the door for Beans. Clemson, for the first time this series, have scored first.
So let's see if that changes anything. You know, what if Virginia Tech needs to be down early for them to say, hey, now we can just throw everything at them and see what we can accomplish. As Clemson, a team with a lead, is very scary, and they know how to make sure to add to that lead.
They do. Duck a chance here. Doesn't get bummed. Masao is playing defense well. This could be an opening. Why are we not committing? Blazer, Silent, we're right there. Wolfie, I know you saw that. Somebody's got to go.
That's a little deer in the headlights moment. You go, no, I go, you go. And unfortunately, the lapse of the seconds just didn't allow themselves to get the offensive opportunity they were hoping for. Virginia Tech, you have to stop worrying about the lights right now and just play some Rocket League.
Yeah, man. Oh, big demo. Not going to be the better, though. Enzo is able to see it away. You are right, though. Like clear up those comm lines. Somebody was trying to call it. They both ended up calling each other off. And there was a tie goal moment. Blazer, not the best 50. Touch over. Aciduck is forced to go back wall here. That's a high shot. Easy save. But Enzo is able to collect it one more time. Beans, maybe for Masao, who challenges well. And that right there, you see Aciduck slightly out of position. That kind of seems to be where Virginia Tech continue to find themselves, just slightly behind the curve.
But think about that play. 1, 2, 3. Everybody was involved for that for Clemson. That's the difference. They're finding ways to make sure they have boosts in the moments that they need it. Virginia Tech, we've seen them on the side of the wall. We've seen them with opportunities, but with maybe 12 boosts, 24 boosts, 100 here for Aciduck. It's Blazer able to come in the last second to ward that one away.
Open net opportunity. No double off the back line. Hang on. Bean shoots it low, and that was no save credited, but what a touch off the post for Virginia Tech.
Oh, this would be a great opportunity here. Silent, full boost, and a dream. Does get a 50, but won't go any farther than front of the net. And right now, attack Clemson. You see them getting dirty. The demo game has to start getting into Virginia Tech's game plan right now. Allow for Clemson to not have easy looks. Make them be able to look over their shoulder.
Another touch gone by the wayside. Here's one more, and Silent finally capitalizes, and there you go. We're exactly at halftime, tied up at ones, and that's what I'm talking about. Like you said, play some Rocket League, commit to the play, and they do just that, and they finally put one together.
That play looked the most confident I've seen this team this series. They went out there and just said, guys, this is now or never. You want a chance to move to the CCS championship. You want to get into that turn, to top 64. This is it. As Beans can't warn it. Silent. 2 back-to-back goals here.
And see, you talked about confidence. You remember Blazer's very first opening goal? That was confidence, right?
Yeah.
Hokies opened up with that confidence. It fizzled out. They're starting to slowly find that flame. That was an interesting touch, if I've ever seen one off the kickoff. Aciduck jumps early, isn't able to get the best defensive block, but sends it out a little bit. Good interrupt from Beans to see that one away from another open net opportunity. So at least Clemson not falling here, but they can't get back to this one. No challenge. Enzo to the back wall, where they find themselves pretty often. Silent now. The better of the clear, has a flip reset touch. Demo is good. Aciduck can't get Masao, so it's Enzo to help out, but all they can do is hand the ball over.
Yeah, and Enzo also missed that corner boost, so left it back there for one of Virginia Tech's members. So, that's a little moment. You got to not make those mistakes. The little passing errors is what's giving Virginia Tech a life in these late rounds, and we mentioned it. Make Clemson be able to feel the entire series. This has to feel like an absolute war to them. They just came off a big game. So this is where it's their second one. That stamina has to be running low. You're seeing them slow down a little bit. And Virginia Tech, they're trying to ramp it up.
Ooh, over Enzo's head. But Beans, better of the play. And that's a really good 50, actually, for Enzo on no boost. The bump there, 1 to beat. Blazer versus Masao. 1 extra touch, but the save is even better.
That would have been the nail in the coffin. He's trying to get it done for his team. Just seems to have that captain mentality where saying, I know what I'm a part of this team. I'm a big part. I want to be the main. As Silent leaves it, they're lofting. Aciduck will push it down. Silent, can he connect? No, that one's slightly wide.
Oh, that would have been another good. We've seen 2 good redirect attempts here, just not fall for either team. Aciduck looking for that 50, finds it high off the ceiling. Silent's not there in time. So Virginia Tech have to push back to the back wall, but hey, a 1-goal lead and you got the whole field to play with. That's the best position to be in, but you got to get it out of your half.
Well, and ever since that little lapse in their judgment off that shot, they have changed their game plan. This team now is just revving on all cylinders, and Blazer trying to see if he can get the third one for the squad. Final 10 seconds. This could end it. Clemson, Masao takes it. This one will just loft up.
0-second drill. Silent is going to guide this one down. Okay, there it is. I was going to say, I was like, nobody put it on the ground, and we are tied up at 2s. Man, the Hokies fought their way back. 1-goal game this time, and we at least see Neo Tokyo now.
Well, now we're going to potentially game point. This is it. You try to you want to put yourself in position to make game 6 a little easier for yourself. You need this one. Clemson, the first time you got the goal at the start, you weren't able to finish that one off. But I think for Virginia Tech, what happened there was not Clemson not being able to rise to the occasion. It was Virginia Tech finally flipping the switch and says, boys, this is our moment. Let's forget about what the stage is and just go play the person in front of us.
That's it. Exactly. Play the people in front of you, game by game, goal by goal. And you were right. Look, the difference was Clemson scored first. That is the difference. Virginia Tech finally gave up the goal early on, and they were able to take the lead. Is that what it is? Is this series whoever scores first loses?
Hey, we don't see that too often here in the game of Rocket League, but I'm always in for surprises, especially here in a conference finals. This one will just go towards midfield. Enzo can't get it. The defense now for Silent coming up, and Silent, he's picked up his game. Ever since that last game, I've seen him just say, Blazer's been a big part, but I'm not going to play second fiddle. It's 1A, 1B.
Exactly, and that's how you play as a squad. You have 1A, 1B, and 1C. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody works as a well-oiled machine. And right now they're doing so well. Everybody's defense a little on point. No shots are too threatening at the moment. Masao needs to right the direction. Maybe a flick will find its way. Enzo to the corner. Can't find 2. So we'll let the Hoks play with this one for a bit. Blazer on the clear. Silent maybe on the continuation, but Masao is going to put that one to bed. Never mind.
On this one, Silent said it's bedtime. Time to go to bed. No need for noise. 3:40 on the clock. And the boy from Virginia Tech leading.
This has to be an omen, right? This has to be an omen, right? Like, this can't be good. It is... I don't know how to feel about this, man. Every time the team that scored first lost, so like they gotta break it here. They've got to break the supposed curse, right?
Well, the only way to break it is, Virginia Tech did score first in game 2, but they took it to overtime. So technically a different game almost, where you're saying, hey, 0-0 on the clock again, boys. Let's go out there and try to take a game win. Maybe they need to go to overtime. And Masao says, OT, well, maybe a step closer there with the 1-1 scoreline.
And maybe they're reminiscing, Wolfie. Maybe they're thinking about what happened in that Syracuse series, because what I'm seeing here, the Pokes took that to game 7, scored at 0 seconds to tie it up at OT, and then that's how they got here. So maybe they're getting flashbacks of the orange right now.
Hey, you're trying to say we've been in these moments. We know how it feels. And you said to yourself, to be able to do something like that means you're in a championship mentality. It's saying we played to the end of the whistle. And this team right now is saying, hey, we're going to go into all zeros on the board as Beans puts into a corner. Not much boost for himself. We'll just see VT right now trying to see himself a second goal, but we'll just be warded off.
Yeah, that one's going to get sent away. Enzo now back to the mid. Beans on a redirect. Maybe Enzo can go, but Blazer up early. Halftime approaches, still tied at 1-1, but Clemson a chance to at least try to get out of their half. Enzo on this clear here, and Masao has to cut it off. Very smart play. I respect that. He knew nothing was going to happen with that continuation and gave it up. They're still fighting in their own half to get out. Beans will get a chance here, and Enzo might be able to help out. He is, but cut off immediately. These guys are seeing these opportunities by the wayside before they even happen.
Well, but the only issue there, you saw it. There's no boost to be able to take advantage. They're putting everything in half just to set the play up. They haven't had a chance really to give them the opportunity to make the shot. 149 remaining. Blazer, no boost in the tank for himself, trying to just work on back as Silent won't get the 50 for him as a defense now for Virginia Tech having to hold through.
Off the side, maybe we might see something. No, it's going to be an easy throw away play. Blazer, maybe a chance. That is going to be thwarted. But Enzo also gets cut off early, and they're still kind of awkward here out of the corner, but no one approached on Clemson. What the heck?
Well, I saw Beans go for that ball into the corner, but used up all his boost, and when he felt he was out of the plate, just rotated himself back. So maybe it was one where just a pre-jump, thought a little bit too ahead, didn't go the way that you thought, but things are getting close. Things are starting to get heated, ladies and gentlemen. We come into the final 60 seconds here. The game of all games. Who will find himself at match point? We'll find out here in 54.
Yeah, Silent's going to try to lead this one away with no boost in the tank, so hopefully they can try to get something, but no, unfortunately, they aren't. No! What a save from Blazer off the crossbar.
Yeah, that's one where you hold your breath and say, is there any oxygen tank left? I need a quick hit. But for Blazer, saying, I just need a quick hit to the back of the net. 30 seconds remaining. If you want anybody with the ball in his hands, it's Blazer.
Well, yeah, but I mean, on the opposite side right now, you have three people you could put in possession of the ball, and they are all scary because of how well they work together. That's a good shot, but a better save from Aciduck. Enzo couldn't get the 50. The approach here, we may see a tie, or we may see overtime in game 5 where it's most needed. This breaks the series. This is going to make or break that momentous push forward. Will we see Virginia Tech take it, or is it going to go in the favor of Clemson?
Well, Clemson just needs to get off the kickoff. Last time, it was in the first 10 seconds they saw themselves take the loss. But, if they allow this one to get going and just have a bit of adjustment like right now, they have a better chance.
They do, but you keep throwing away possession like that, you'll give a chance to Virginia Tech. They approach here, Aciduck off the side. Maybe there's one in the mid, no Silent, no boost there. Respect the decision to lay off out of the corner. This is going to be important for Blazer, maybe an opportunity. No, it gets sent to the corner. They have to play defense here. Masao, awkward, Aciduck on the demo, and they've got everybody jumping on the side of Clemson, especially with no boost. This is such a detrimental moment for Clemson, but they are turning it into a positive by being on offense.
Yeah, Blazer right now, it's one, this offense just have to have too much. The demos are starting to come in from Clemson. Look for that to really start getting out the back of line, and it's me up to Virginia Tech. Can you be able to hold the line? You know how aggressive this Clemson team has been playing here tonight. That's not going to stop, especially here in overtime.
Oh, big challenge from Masao. Sees the ball off the back wall. Touch from Silent slows everything down. Another 50 here. Lets the Hokies try to approach. Blazer to the mid. Can Aciduck turn it in? He does! The Hokies! They win their second overtime.
Well, this team, they are deadly in OT. VT right now says 2-1, give it to us. And Clemson, what a match. But Virginia Tech again are key in OT.
Oh, they got to be feeling it right now. I bet you They ready up so quick. I bet you everybody's just like, let's go. Let's go. Look at that. Virginia Tech. Yeah, Aciduck's putting the new preset on. He's putting the sweaty preset on. Oh, it's game over, dude. They are locked in.
They feel good, play good, be good. And this team right now, they're saying, hey, we know what we need to accomplish. Clemson, you're in the depths now. This is now or never. You have your back against the wall. Virginia Tech has been doing their job all series long to almost perfection. The early part of the series, it seemed that, think about it, if they closed out game 1 the way they should, this could have been it for themselves. But it's goldfish mentality. Don't worry what happened. Worry about what's about to.
See, but now look at Clemson. Taking the play out of your playbook, Wolfie. They're taking that whole unofficial timeout. They're taking the whole minute here to really talk about things. This is where it becomes do or die, right? This is exactly where you want to be. You have to step up. And I think Clemson is a team that is absolutely terrifying and could do it.
Oh, they can. And if it's for Virginia Tech, it's where you're saying you can't look away from Clemson. When you feel you're up, you never are safe. This Tigers team, they're going to watch. They're going to be able to say, we're going to go on a hunt real quick. We're not going to go out face to face. We're going to stalk you. We're going to prey you, and we're going to see where we can take advantage and take the kill. But now it's where Clemson has to say, we have to play our best Rocket League here.
Yeah, 100%. They absolutely do need to play their best Rocket League again, and they're taking just that little extra moment. I guess we're waiting on a couple of players so far. We're waiting on one person, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I say take your time. And I feel this only, if I'm Clemson, make Virginia Tech wait. Let them feel and be like, hey, we need to finish this. You saw them get a little shaky earlier. Clemson, they've been playing, they've already had a series under the belt before this one. So take a breather, take a chance. But 5 minutes, who will take it all? Virginia Tech trying to end it now.
And if they ended in 4, Wolfie, what a win. Number 4 taking down number 3 for the bid to the top 64. Acid Duck couldn't get that second touch he was looking for. So Blazer, little soft one here to play in the corner. Does get a nice little wave dash. I like that right there. We might see something for the better. Hang on, Silent approaching. Weak shot in front of Masao, so that won't be any kind of trouble to deal with that pinch out. Sees to Acid Duck, and I like the spacing that they're kind of using. We've seen them now approach properly here in game number 6. It took a long time in this series, Wolfie, but we finally see them setting up that formation.
And, you know, this is where, looking at the way the history has gone, you know, if Virginia Tech scores first, they need to go to OT to take a win. But if Clemson scores first, Virginia Tech might be able to get in regulation. So if I'm Virginia Tech, maybe look at those odds.
Right. Yeah, you're gonna have to absolutely look at those odds. I mean, you really need to hunker down, and you got to put your best foot forward. I mean, we got through the first minute and nobody scored, so it's looking very reminiscent of game 5. Very early showing for this squad off the back wall. Blazer is able to find it out. No touch as well. Hang on. Maybe one more. Silent can't find Acid Duck. Acid Duck had to hit the brakes and go backwards. Big throw to the mid. It's going to be up to Blazer to keep the ball away from the net. But again, Clemson has jumped on a lot of these opportunities really early on. And this is going to be to their better in this game 6.
Well, Clemson is a team that I feel plays with a lot of rhythm. It's when they're hot, this team just continues to ramp things up. But, you know, for Virginia Tech, it seems that they're the opposite. They're cool, calm, and collected. It's never to a point where they're trying to up the tempo. They're trying to make you play to their pace. And so where Virginia Tech may want to play to that now, but Clemson trying to come down and get the first goal. That one will look away, but Enzo continued to attack. We'll just go for a clear from Silent.
And look how this game becomes incredibly methodical, Wolfie. They're not taking any chances. Blazer touch needs to beat Masao, but that defender is the roughest one to beat. Masao is somebody who's absolutely ready to meet Blazer's mechanics on that front. Maybe we might see something out here. Oh, this could be the score that we see. Enzo knocks it down for the opening goal of game 6.
And just to see what happened there, it seemed that the cutoff was going to, but that one, great 50 there by Beans, being able to set everything up. Enzo, perfect position, but Clemson gets a first goal here. The VT fans, they might be saying, we don't mind being here. We don't mind this.
I mean, but they're going to have to
get going
quick, brother. Yeah, you got to get it going. This is not a game where you wait. Patience is no longer your friend. Time is against you. Shot, it's on target, but it doesn't go in. It's far down and out. Blazer tries to put it through, but VT have to see this one away. That was an incredible play for the Hokies that they weren't able to capitalize on. Another touch here. Silent needs to help out, but Blazer takes it completely, leaves the third man in his position, gets a touch again, but it's easy for Baines to save.
Well, you know what they say, if you can get the fourth defender on your side, which is the crossbar, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna have a good game. But after they're saying, hey, let's not worry about that last shot, we need to continue to develop, we know we need more than one goal, we need to grab 2, but 137, this team just needed to work quickly. Acid Duck gives it up for a teammate. Silent trying to continue on the offensive prowess, but not much to get going.
No, but Blazer has a chance to clear again. Silent just needs to put it towards the net. It's a waterfall. Maybe we see Acid Duck approach, but he's too late to the race. Off the sidewall again. Enzo not going to quit. Gets it over Blazer, but the clear from Silent helps him push into the offensive half. They need to continue to stay in this offensive zone. They're really awkward right now. Acid Duck needs to get back on the ground, but there's no one home, and Clemson are marching their way through to game 7.
Well, no one's home, and this team took their big boot and kicked the door in and says, hey, we're coming in if you don't like it or not. This is where they needed to get to. 2-goal lead. Clemson works magnificently in these moments. They know how to hold on, but Virginia Tech, last thing you want is to put up a 0 on this game.
You do not want to end in 0, man. Like that is the worst place to be in.
Yeah.
You've got to at least put a goal in. Threaten this Clemson lead right now, and you're not doing that. Acid Duck with a touch. Silent could put in it here. Wait, no, it was Blazer. Did you see the mix-up? 2 people could have shot that ball. It was going directly underneath the crossbar. It didn't matter, and Blazer got it from the back line.
And the old switcheroo there. Now you see me, now you don't. The ball behind the net. 45 remaining. They said, hey, the 0's gone. But can you get to the equalizer?
Dude, I don't know, man. They're going to try here. Silent has a flip reset off the back wall. Asatok could have thrown one there, but Enzo does get the better of the save. Blazer has to get rid of Enzo, or at least keep possession of the ball, but decides to let it float back. 30 seconds is all they have to play with. One has maybe another. That's denied away. Asaduck has one more opportunity to play this from the back wall. Wolfie, what do the Hokies do? Can they do it? Time is waning.
They have to believe. They have to believe. This is the final 10 seconds. You've done it with 0. Can you do it? But Masao says, no time for a comeback. We want it, and we're taking you all to game number 7. Clemson, the Tigers, one step closer from taking the conference finals.
Yeah, that's crazy. I cannot believe this game just ended it. We go into 7 again. The Hokies are getting flashbacks of playing Syracuse. That's what we're seeing here. The clock will wane down. No goal there. They're going to keep it up. It's garbage time. It doesn't matter, but it goes down.
Oh, man, you can take a breather now, Clemson fans. You are going on to game 7, but it's not over yet. So now, with Clemson taking this one here, Taco, it's one where you're saying, all right, all the statistics from earlier in the first 6 games just go out the window. It's now or never. The last couple games didn't matter what happened. At the very least, Virginia Tech saw the back of the net. They can continue saying, hey, if it wasn't for that crossbar down, we could have been able to get a second goal. Maybe the game changes. Whatever. That doesn't matter now. All that matters is game 7. You have 5 minutes for the rest of your lives for this season. What are you going to do with it?
Unfortunately, Wolfie, I have to leave. I'm so sorry.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the action still goes. Taquito, I love you, man.
Love you too, brother. Get hype, get loud. This is going to be the best game of the night.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the action continues to go. Clemson, Virginia Tech. Game number 7 here for the CCS ACC Conference Finals. It's about to go action-packed.
I'm here, Wolfie. I'm excited, man. Game 7, I get to step in. Oh. This is my moment.
Welcome, nation. Welcome, hey, it's nothing better than having the main man here in the booth for the final game of the action. The fans at home get a treat. You get 3 different casters in one game. That's called legendary.
Got to step up for Taquito, the big man, and I'm excited to be here. And I really wanted the casting series, but I got tonight. It's 4 series of solo casting, so I need to, get breaks where I can. So, but I am excited to get to watch this series a little bit. And hell, it's Game 7. I can't not watch that.
Hey, we've been waiting for this moment, and Nation, it couldn't be written better. The script here tonight, thrown out. It is a dumpster fire for both these two teams, and this is where goal 1. It's the most important. You need to put the pressure on this opposition.
Well, the second goal's had a lot of success tonight, first off. But, again, Virginia Tech come in as favorites, in my opinion. Clemson's going to find the first, though. Wolfie Masal makes it 1-0.
Well, this team, they're trying to see if they can run down the hill after this one. This is where Clemson, great job. I was worried if the stamina was starting to run low. They looked a little shaky in game 4 and 5, but they're turning things around now. Clemson, for the second game in a row, start off hot.
1-0 goes to Tigers, so plenty of time, though, to play in Game 7. And, I had this series circled all week long, and I figured this would be one. If we get to 7, this is one I'd look towards to go to the distance, and that is gone tonight. And it's what a way to kick things off tonight of a 4-hour broadcast with 8 hours coming your way tomorrow. But, these two teams are so good, and I figured that this would go at least the minimum of 6.
And that's kind of where we're at, and I feel... They knew what the moment was. Virginia Tech, I love the way this defense has been coming in, especially against a hot offense like Clemson, but It's where you've seen them kind of not be able to dictate most of the rhythm here. Clemson has done a great job of putting on their back heel for the entirety of this series. And with a 1-goal start, trying to make it 2. Quick defense there for Virginia Tech, not allowing that one as Blazer, last-minute heroics, but the offense still brewing here.
Absolutely, as 3:29 remains on the clock. Both teams, again, tied at 3 in the best of 7. Clemson will lead by 1 after the opening 90, Wolfie. And, what a night it's been so far. And these two teams, again, very talented. I'm expecting this to come down to the last couple of possessions.
Well, this is where these two teams have to put everything out now. You have to turn your brain off almost and just say, we got to just go out there and play some Rocket League. I understand we have to really try to set ourselves up, but they've done a great job of adjusting to what the series have been. Virginia Tech, 2 minutes in, have not seen their first goal. They got shut out all the way up until the last couple minutes or last couple seconds there in game number 6. It can't be the same now.
2:48 to play. Blazer in the corner. Masao out of harm's way here. Virginia Tech trying to bob and weave their way through. It's 1-1.
Well, Silent has played a very big role here tonight when they needed a goal. He said, look at me, I'm making the loud plays, and one coming in a great time here close to halftime.
Game 7. I mean, it's do or die, Wolf. Even again, both these teams, no matter what, are going to be in the tournament. There's no doubting that fact. But again, you want to punch your ticket and make it automatic. You don't want to have to wait for an at-large to come your way. You want to make that automatic, and tonight they've got a chance to make that reality in the next half of this game.
Well, you said it. You don't want to wait. You don't want you want to be able to control your destiny right now. And that's where these two
Absolutely.
teams. You control where your destiny is. Can you be able to look at it and says, we're ready for it?
2:15 to go, and again, you want to control your destiny here as much as you can. And right now, destiny is still very much in the hands of these 6 players in the field tonight. And you don't want to let Game 7 get out of reach with not a lot of time left, as this gets bad for either party.
2 minutes remaining. Blazer has seen himself take big shots tonight. That one will just go warded off. A quick touch into the midfield will give Silent a 1-on-2 there, but Enzo with a good pre-jump takes away a great opportunity. In the defense for Clemson, it just seems that they're predicting Virginia Tech so well. The quick leave there for Blazer.
Minute 38 to play. Enzo into the red corner here, trying to find some space and looking for an option that is taken away immediately by a Asduck, though, in these last 90 seconds. Going to be pivotal to success tonight for the Hokies, but again, the offense has to come alive here.
Well, in the offense, this is where you have to start dancing. You have to start doing something to get your energy up. They've seemed slow. Clemson has done a good job of just being the main aggressor. Virginia Tech has been warning off big shots, but I want to see if Clemson starts coming back in with the bumps, back in with the demos. They're doing a good job of the first man being able to go in, boost off the back line, potentially get a touch, as Blazer able to get a big touch there to save it.
One more chance. Beans fires. Silent broken up there, and we're a minute away from overtime. Wolf, I mean, hell, can we get 18 minutes of overtime like last night's World Series game?
I'm down for it. Why not? Let's go for it. Legendary games have legendary moments, but who's gonna have the Freddie Freeman moment right now? Who's gonna get the walk off? Who's gonna say, "Look at me now. I'm the one trying around the bases"? But for Clemson, for Virginia Tech, all I have to say is don't go to OT. Virginia Tech has been living in overtime.
Klein had a heck of a night too. But, again, someone has to have the moment. Here it is as Asduck, a double is no good. Silent, a chance down low. He's killed from his efforts. Clemson hold up the line, and Virginia Tech a near opportunity gone by the wayside.
Well, it's Virginia Tech. They know how to play the late game so well, and this team has done a good job of, like we mentioned earlier, they don't get out of sync too often. It seems they're letting Clemson kind of run themselves tired. But final 3 seconds, overtime. Can the length of this series continue on? This one just needs to hit the ground. Welcome to overtime here in game number 7 for the ACC Conference Finals.
Golden goal. The next scores into the CCS championships. Both teams looking for a 3rd all-time appearance. It's a quick demo there. Sets Masao up for an opportunity. That one sent wide left. And overtime to end off this series and kick the night off with Game 7 OT. I mean, what a way to start the night. Overtime, Game 7, it's do or die.
If you had to put the schedule together, what a job to get everybody going here in game number 1. The fans at home are enthralled, and Beans trying to be the first one in the net. That will not go. But if this is how the night's going to start, imagine the rest of the way through.
40 seconds so far into the extra period. And right now, again, I'll say it for the record. The record is 9 minutes and 3 seconds of overtime in CCS history. So we're still far off from that. We've had a couple of close calls this season, but nothing has quite eclipsed that record from Season 2.
Hey, that's only fitting. Let's make some more history tonight. We already see an OT Game 7. Might as well get the longest series possible. But Clemson trying to end it quickly. Can they get it? That one not in the net. What a save!
I literally said, there it is. I thought it was over. That shot looked good to me, Wolfie, but Virginia Tech and I think their lucky stars, that is not a goal. It would be hurtful to watch Clemson lose now.
Oh, it just, you can say the Rocket League gods weren't with them on that one. And, the crossbar having 2 goals, but Masal says, you will not deny me. Clemson take it all the way through, going down the hill, have themselves Howard's Rock in the background. They are the ACC Conference Finals champions.
Clemson, the Tigers win the ACC tournament for the second time in program history. And get the job done, Wolfie. They're tournament bound. And what a way to kick off the night. 4-3, a Game 7 final. No better way to start it off.
Yeah, and in one where Virginia Tech, they led an OT for most of this series on. And for you to be able to say it didn't matter. All that matters is right now, Clemson, what a job. Your offense came out. Even after playing a series, you look fresh for the entire way through. What a squad.
What a way to kick things off tonight. Virginia Tech, I guess, couldn't survive 3 Game 7 overtimes in a row. Wolfie, both their last 2 series went to overtime in Game 7 to get to this point. They did fall short tonight, though. And that'll wrap it up for Clemson, Virginia Tech. We're going to go to break. When we come back, number 1 Dayton takes on number 2 VCU.